What is going on, YouTube? We're here with another mail day. So everything you see here today cost a total of $1,075.
Out of $1,600,000,000,000 worth, $1,400,000,000,000 worth. Out of $1,400,000,000. It's hard to even say it, it's so much. And by the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
And we've broken it down into three categories. First is the cards that we will be sending off to get graded. Second is the cards that getting graded would not add to their value. However, individually, they're still worth about $5 or more, so we'll sell those on ComC. And then cards that getting graded would not add to their value, and they're just not worth selling individually, so we'll probably end up lotting those off and selling them on eBay. So let's get into it. So first we have the cards that getting them graded would not add to their value and they're not worth selling individually. So we've got a number of these LeBron SP Authentic from when Upper Deck had lost their license. These are about $1 a piece is all. We've got MJ from 2002 SP Authentic, number of these. Some LeBron hard courts. A couple more LeBron SPs. Giannis Defying Gravity. LeBron Upper Deck. The majority of these cards, the issue so far has been the corners on them maybe had a touch. Something that I think would actually probably keep them from getting a 9 or a 10. Anything that's generally LeBron or MJ, if I think that it will at least get a 9, have a shot at a 10, I normally send it in. So a lot of this stuff is stuff that would probably get an 8 just because of the corners. A few LeBron skyboxes. LeBron Jam Masters. A number of these LeBron Hot Prospects, and a lot of these you'll see later on when I go through the graded cards that I did pull a number of them out to get graded, but I was probably a little relatively picky on this slot. Number of LeBron Hot Prospects. Malone Boss, Kobe Skybox, some Jordan Skyboxes. Couple Jordan Ultra, Jordan Flair, and again, a lot of these cards were, I don't know, $1 to $2 a piece or so when I bought them. Hoops, couple Griffies, Bonds Magnetic Field, Griffey 1989 Fleer. I'll go through this card in here in a little bit with some more detail about how to grade these. The corners actually aren't too bad on this as far as card stock is concerned. They generally hold up well. The issue that you're going to have on a lot of these ends up being the centering, and you might look at a card and say, well, that looks okay, left to right centering, but a lot of times the issue on these is the top to bottom. So the way you're going to want to look at these is look at how much border there is after the top name, and then also here on the very bottom, this corner where it comes up to that line for the Fleer. And then a lot of times too, you can check centering on the back. If it's really off-centered, you'll see either a lot of border on the top here, or some cards have almost no border. And then a few LeBron base. Next are cards that we'll be sending to ComC to sell individually. So I bought a number of these LeBron optics in a lot. Actually, I think the entire lot was, I think a little under 20. So I got a pretty good deal on them. Problem was actually most of them wouldn't grade, so they'd probably gone through these already. So some LeBron optics. LeBron Turkey Red. This card just has a lot of issues just because of the card stock, has a soft corner on most of these. LeBron Own the Game. LeBron Tops. These Griffey rated rookies, so we've gone over these in the past. The printing and the card stock on these is just terrible. Add that to the fact that PSA pop controls these, so it's really hard to get them graded. This Tribute Harper that was a throw-in on a card I bought. A couple of Griffey Leafs. These are numbered out of 3,999. Griffey Molten Metal, and a couple more Griffey Rated Rookies. So let's get into the cards that we'll be sending off to be graded. Again, the majority of these will probably go to SGC, as I'm planning an order to go off there. However, some of the cards that are not ultra modern, I'm still considering sending to PSA just because they have not raised the fee on those yet. And it seems like they're continuing to get a pretty nice premium, even over SGC grades. And with the turnaround time starting to back up at every place, it's not a benefit of sending to one or the other at this point. So we've got a number of these MJ 2002 SP Authentics. This is a nice card you can pick up for $2 or $3 raw in graded PSA 10 form. That's a $50 card all day. Relatively easy set to grade, harder cardstock, white borders. We've got a few of these 2015 Revolution Stephs. So I got 4 of these in a lot for I believe $15, so a little under $5 a card. Just a nice card and a kind of a rare card to get graded. So this is cool. This is a 2016 Revolution LeBron Sunburst parallel. So these are numbered out of 75. Just a cool looking set. This is something that I'll probably actually send off to Beckett, just because a lot of the cards have this little print defect on the surface there, and Beckett is a little bit easier on surfaces. So a lot of these types of cards I'll send off to Beckett. This was $200. King Griffey Quick Strike, just a cool 90s insert. These go for around 15 to 20 bucks. Tough to get graded just because of all the different edges and corners on these. This will probably go to Beckett because there's a little bit white on some of the corners. So at PSA, this is probably a 8.85. Beckett should be a 9. And then we've got a number of these Griffey 89 Fleers. So I think I bought 20 or so in total. I paid maybe about $5 a piece. And I was actually pretty happy with the overall grades because I think about a little less than half I ended up deciding that I would grade. So the printing on the 89 Fleer is pretty good compared to the 89 Donruss. Again, just checking for that centering. And sometimes you can get a little bit of edge wear that chips on some of these, but these overall looked pretty good as far as edges and corners are concerned. You'll also want to check to make sure none of them have any wax stains on the back. But with this card, I think the majority of these should get 9s. I wouldn't be surprised if PSA slips in a 10. Also wouldn't be surprised if they slip in a 6 or something else that they caught. Number of these Bonds Magnetic Field. I think that's just a cool 90s insert. Found these in a lot that were pretty cheap. I think maybe $2 or $3 a piece. Figured I'd pick them up, and most of them look pretty good to get graded. They do have black corners on the back. However, these ones looked pretty good. Griffey Finest. A couple MJ Fleers. So when you're looking back at early 90s stuff, this is when they started putting gloss on the card. So just checking to make sure there's no scratches and then checking that centering. Same with the MJ Hoops. So out of all those LeBron Hot Prospects cards, there were a number of them that were grade worthy. So most of these are 9s and 10s. Not really any issues with centering, just checking to make sure surface doesn't have any scratches on it and that the corners aren't pushed in. LeBron Hardcourt and LeBron Stadium Club. A number of LeBron 15 Revolutions. So these peaked up in value here a month or two ago at 35 bucks, and they've come down now to $20 to $25 range. So I think this is just a nice card to pick up to get graded. I think looking back in 20 years, this will be an iconic base card, kind of like the 97 Jordan Metal Universe, especially with the LeBron Galactic of this. If it does come to market being at least a $10,000 card, I think the base and high grade should hold up pretty well over time. Number of 17 LeBron Revolutions. LeBron Optic. On these Optic from this year, you really want to check on the centering. Notoriously had bad centering. Actually, all years of Optic notoriously had bad centering. LeBron 16 Revolution. LeBron 16 Revolution Astro Parallel. And then a ton of these LeBron SP Authentic. So again, this is a $1 to $2 raw card, graded. These actually peaked up close to $100. I think they've come back down a little bit now, maybe in the $50 to $75 range. But still, if you're spending $10 or whatever you're spending to get these graded, the risk reward is just there just to send them in. So I looked these over pretty well. All of them should 9, and I would imagine that at least half of them should 10 as well. So on these, just check surfaces for scratching, check those corners. Don't really have a lot of issues with edges or centering on these. So let me know in the comments what you think about this Mailday, and let me know what your favorite card was. Mine was definitely the LeBron 16 Revolution Sunburst. Also really like that Griffey Quick Strike. But let me know what you think about buying these bulk lots of Griffey rookie cards and see if I can't get any graded.